Welcome back to Les Schwab Tire Center's Outdoor GPS, presented by Fisherman's Marine and Outdoor. Now, it's real time.
Welcome back, everyone. It's my pleasure to introduce Sandeep Nain. He is the owner of Fisherman's Marine, the new owner of Fisherman's Marine. Sandeep, it's nice to meet you.
Same here.
Now, Sandeep, he didn't need to come in here, okay? He's in here on his own time, in person, and I really, really do appreciate that, honestly.
Well, I appreciate the opportunity. Thank you for that.
You're very welcome. Now, I know I asked you this earlier, so I got to ask again. Oh, watch yourself. See? We don't want to break him too early. Have you ever done anything like this before, television, radio, and all that stuff?
I haven't. This is very first time.
I love it. Okay, so that just means we're going to get you in here more often. Okay.
Sounds good.
Now that I know that you're accessible, which has never been the case before, I'm super excited for that. All right, so there's a lot of people out there, and you've learned this already. In the short time that you've been the owner of Fisherman's, there's been a lot of questions. Okay, who's the new owner? Where's he from? Tell us a little bit about yourself. I know enough that you're from the Seattle area, right? You have a couple businesses up there. So what's your background, and how did you end up here as the owner of Fisherman's Marine?
Yeah, I'll give a very short, brief history.
Sure.
So grew up in India, went to a tech college, came to US on for a short-term project working at Amazon.
Sure.
Fell in love with the Northwest, decided to stay, got a job at Microsoft. So from 2004 to 2010, worked at Microsoft. In between, started going hiking, backpacking, climbing, mountaineering, every weekend adventures, you know.
Okay.
So then decided to quit in 2010. Went to Nepal on an expedition, climbed a few peaks.
Wow.
Came back, joined Expedia.
Yeah.
2013, had an opportunity to go to India on an expedition, and we did 3 first ascents there. I was there for a month. It was a pretty cool experience.
Yeah.
Anyway, so come back, and the same year my first daughter was born, and 2014, a few months as the summer is approaching, I'm growing at my work, dev manager and all that, and getting busier, and I have a newborn baby I want to spend more time with and outdoors. How do I balance it all? So decided to quit my job at Expedia, become stay-home dad, and started a guiding company. I had some experience leading trips for charity clients like Mount Rainier, Mount Baker, and all that.
Sure.
So decided started a guiding company, and from there opened a small retail store to support the guiding company primarily. Come to 2019, if you are a climber or a mountaineer in Seattle area, you will know it's a Second Ascent, it used to be called, and now it's called Ascent Outdoors.
Okay.
It's like a very iconic, old store, loved by the climber mountaineers. That went bankrupt. I purchased that from the bankruptcy court, reopened it, and since then it's been, it's been in black. It's been
that means good, everyone.
Doing well. So with that, and then 2022, got involved in a bike store in Tacoma, another family-owned, small, community-supported store, like a mountain biking and all that, and got into mountain biking also.
Gotcha.
With that. And then this year, found out about, from the previous owner about Fisherman, and we've been talking, since last year, we've been talking a little bit about it.
Sure.
And so this is just another, expansion in the outdoor industry I've fallen in love with in Northwest.
So first off, man, I love that story. And trust me, everyone, we could get much more elaborate into it. We just don't have time. It's television, and I've told you for years, time is not, you can't move it, right? It's like math, you can't fix it. That's a great story. So you came here from India, you fell in love with the Northwest, started hiking, mountaineering, started a guide operation for that, because there's a lot of people that are gonna go, oh, was he ever a fishing guide? No, mountaineering guide. And it seems like you fall in love with something, you go in both feet, man. I mean, you're buying story. Now he's loving fishing. You just saw some photos. He's been out with some of our local fishermen dudes, guides as well. Hambly's not a guide, but Dave Ing is, of course. And you were out with Dave Maroon, one of the best there is here in the area.
It's all, they've all been great. And also with Josh from Okuma.
Oh, yeah, Josh Cooper. Sure, from Yakima Bait. Yes, and Okuma. Anyway, that's a long story. We'll get into that at some point in time. But no, so it's really, really cool. So you fall in love with something. You want to be in depth in the middle of it. How's your family? Obviously, we all saw your family was there. Did they have any fishing experience prior? Is this all brand new to them as well as yourself?
Yes, exactly. My daughter has been talking about going on fishing for a few years now.
Okay.
And, you know, I couldn't take him fishing, but now I have a fishing store, so I can take her fishing.
Yeah, you can, dude. He just bought, I mean, really, I mean, a lot of people that are out there, and I know that you follow along with, it's hard not to, right, with social media and really, in my own personal opinion, some of the idiocy that's out there, lots of comments, questions, 99% of it all positive, right? But everybody's curious about, so what's going to happen to Fisherman's now? Is it going to turn into an REI? Is it going to turn into a Dick's? Is it going to be a place where we don't get what we need? Are things going to change, or are they going to just improve?
Yeah, I mean, definitely that. I bought the business, of course, and with the, you know, because I love outdoors and all that, and it's a business, and I also love the solving, you know, the puzzle of the business.
Sure.
But in the short time I've been the owner, I come to realize like how important it is to the community. Whether, you know, when I was going out on fishing with Jason on Klickitat area, and there were maybe over 50 boats out there.
Yeah.
Everyone fishing in the morning, and he mentioned that 2/3 of these boats have purchased, you know, probably equipment or gear from your store.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, so many of guides are out there, and he's introducing me like, he's your pro guide, and Steve's your pro guide, and you know, like there's this deep connection, and you go to, you know, ifish.com or social media, there are a lot of comments, and so I definitely feel that sense the how deep connected it is with the community, and, you know, I feel the responsibility to continue the legacy and move it forward. And along with that, what you mentioned, like I was saying, some of those comments too, whether it's going to be turned into a Dick's or, you know, another one of those chain store, you know, nothing against Dick's, of course.
Sure.
But that's definitely not my intention. We'll continue to grow on the legacy, as I was saying, and, you know, enhance customer experience, make it a welcoming place. There's some of the comments I've seen, like, will you be making sure we have, you know, right tacker and our shelves are well stocked, so we'll ensure that, maybe add more local vendors, provide support to our buyers that they can do their job right, and you know, just build on what's already been there and make it even better, make it a place where our employees love it, our customers love it, and, you know, have a more positive impact on the community. That's really my goal.
You got to one of my really at the top of the list questions. It's always been, and I think a lot of it, and I know my viewers know this because I've mentioned it before in the past, it's hard to keep up with supply and demand, right? You got a bunch of people that come in and buy one thing for one fishery, and it's all gone. And people expect it to be there every single time you go in. Now, we obviously know that that is possible to be done, and that's been one of the biggest issues, or at least one of the biggest concerns as a user group. And you've already addressed that. You know, it's important that those shelves are stocked with gear that we need.
I mean, you probably know as much as, you know, I do. Retail is hard. It's not, you know, more inventory you have, and if it's not selling, it's sitting, all the money is stuck. So we have to be careful.
Sure.
The business has to be profitable too, right? For it to be running and continue to serve the community.
Sure, common sense, remember that, everyone.
If it's going to be red, you know, if it's going to be lost, how long it will last.
Sure.
We don't want to be what happened to the previous owner with the second ascent, you know.
Sure.
Anyway, but that being said, we can be smart about it and, you know, make sure we are looking at the data, we are understanding, and that's what our buyer job is, to see what the fisheries are coming and, you know, trying to be ahead of it.
Sure.
Making orders quicker and keeping the right inventory in stock. So that's, yeah.
Yeah, no, I love it. Those are just concerns as the end user we've always had.
I mean, if I am going to err in not having the inventory, I would rather do that in our camping department, let's say.
Sure.
Not that we don't want to keep camping. But for the tackle, fishing, rods, reel, like that's our bread and butter. That's what we are known for. And hunting, you know, those things we want to make sure. I even saw comments about like duck hunting, like whether we can have more gear here.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely that's you know, it's something we love here and people love here, so we want to make sure that will be my second another thing.
I'll be happy to line you out on what we need. Trust me. Don't you agree, Eva? I got an idea of what it is that we need to chase ducks around here in the Northwest. Man, that could be a whole separate department. Bow hunting. Anyway, we're going to cut to a quick break. When we come back, we're going to continue to talk with Sandeep. He is the owner of Fisherman's Marine and Outdoor, having an opportunity to meet him in person for the first time. We'll be right back.
Outdoor GPS is brought to you by Chevy Silverado and the impressive new Turbo Max engine. Flex your muscle with the strongest, most advanced Silverado ever. Official truck of Outdoor GPS.